This is Arcania, and pretty much it's the next game in the Gothic series. One of the things that we've worked on really hard is to make sure that if you're a Gothic fan, you're going to recognize the game because it is the next one in the series. But because Gothic hasn't been so popular in North America, we wanted to make sure that if you're not a fan or if you haven't played it before, it's fresh for you as well. So pretty much what we've done is we've got an action RPG here, lots and lots and lots of quests. We're looking at somewhere between 30 hours of gameplay and up to 50 and 80 if you're really hardcore and you have to get everything. We're looking at the PC, the 360, and the PS3. So one of the cool things that we've got here, you can actually see that the lights shining through all the trees and stuff like that, and the rain coming down. You can actually see that there is rain moving downhill because we've actually got it set up dynamically, so it's a texture that's affected by physics. What's cool about that is as you're going through the game, if it rains and you're in the right area, you're actually going to see puddles start to form on the ground and stuff. So it's really sort of interesting, and it never happens the same way twice. Something else that's cool is in the Gothic series, NPCs actually react to the time of day and everything else, and the weather. So what we've done is we're going to give you spells where you can control them. So if you don't feel like attacking someone, that was a nice long jump there. Obviously in the final game that would kill you, but we've got E3 privileges. So the deal is that in the final game, let's say there's that guard there and he's standing out front of his post and you don't want to see him and you don't want to fight him, you can make it rain and he might go inside. So it's going to give you an option. So I'm just going to show you what happens when I turn the rain off. So I've turned it off, and you can actually see it drying up a little bit there. And these sort of like long streams of water are going to dry up on their own. Okay, cool. So let's actually see the world. So the world itself is comprised of 3 islands. The one that we're on right now is sort of the big main island. It's about 85% of the game. And pretty much the way it works is it's split into about 7 different areas, and they open up almost in GTA style. So you open up once you open up one area, then you can always go back. So it's a sandbox game. This area is called Tushu. It's a bit of a swamp. You can actually see the haze if you look out on the swamp water there. And if we look up, you can see where we just were. We were up in this giant tree. This is actually the Mages Guild in this game, and I guess the mages have the abilities to mess with nature. And the other kinds of places that you're going to see medieval castles, towns, cities, all that sort of stuff. The developer's actually German, and one of the advantages they have is they actually know what medieval castles look like because they're there. And as a result, you can see everything. So each of those different areas actually have their own culture, and you'll actually be able to see them in the arms and armor. So if I turn around for a second here, you can see the front of my shield has a very distinct pattern on it. Every area you go to is going to have very distinct patterns and things like that. So, for instance, you start off in a little fishing village, and if you get weapons from there, they've actually got sort of fish motifs, almost like Celtic scroll work and stuff. So there's a lot of attention to detail, so if you're interested in looking at that, it's there. All right, let's go ahead and look at some combat. One of the things that we really wanted to do here is we wanted to make sure that the game was accessible to everybody, as I've said. So one of the ways that we've done that is we made sure that, especially if you're a console player, but even if you're a PC player, if you're not sort of a hardcore combat fanatic, then you can get in there. So let's see here. We've added a lock-on. So now what you can do is you can actually lock onto things. And if I pull out my bow, I've got a really good chance of hitting something here. So that's an option for you if you want to play it that way. It's a long game, however, and you may want to level your skill set up. So if I choose not to lock on, and I'm probably going to miss, but let's see what we can do here. There we go. If I choose not to lock on, I can shoot my bow sort of on the fly. And what we've done is we've said, okay, well, if you're not going to lock on, you're going to do double damage. So what it does is it gives you a balancing feature. Okay, cool. As I level up, and you'll find this with the swords and the magic, you're going to get charge attacks as well. It's an RPG, so we want to make sure that the longer you play, the funner it is. So let's go ahead and jump in and see if we can do some melee. Cool. So I pulled out my sword, and it's multi-directional combat, so I can fight people behind me, to the side, any direction I want. There we go. Oh, get the guy behind me. There we go. And the idea being that if a mob attacks you, you can really handle a large group of people, regardless of what they're doing. Other things that we've got are as you're attacking, if I just want to button mash, I can. But at the end of every swing, you'll see my sword glows blue. And if I hit the button at the right time, I'll actually pull off a combo. So the idea is that there's different kinds of combat going on with everything. All right, let's take a look at some magic real quick. Cool. So we've got a fireball here. It's an RPG. You've got to have a fireball. If we take a look at it, you can see that we've got, it's obviously got all the dynamic lighting going on. You can run into a dark cave with it, and it's going to act as a light. There's all kinds of occlusion going on and all that stuff, so it actually looks like a fireball. And, when you're holding fire in your hand, you want it to be as realistic as possible. Let's take care of these guys. So I'm going to throw some fireballs at these guys. Again, I can lock on if I want to. There we go. And let's just do that for a second. So like I said, you can always charge any, you can charge all of your attacks. So we're going to use the magic here. And I'm going to lock on to this guy. Let's see if I can get him. There we go. And I'm going to charge this one. So this would be a full level 3 fireball. And it's turning into an AoE now. So it's an area of effect. And you can see that we just, blow everybody in the neighborhood away. I'm going to quickly change to my sword, and I can really go to town. So it's an RPG, so we've got a skill tree-based leveling system. Every time you level, you're going to get a certain number of skill points, which you can spend on whatever you'd like, whether it's melee or magic or ranged. And, of course, it's an RPG, so we've got blacksmithing, we've got alchemy, and, all the good stuff that you expect to see in there. We've got 5 guilds that you can join. In fact, you can join all 5 of them if you really, you want to get all the achievement points. So you've got the Mages Guild, the Alchemist Guild, the Fighters, and now I'm on the spot, so I've got to get all 5. We've got the Merchants, and we've also got the Rangers. And so what you'll do is, if you go through them, then you're going to be able to, you'll unlock new abilities, and you'll unlock new weapons and things like that. As far as the story goes, if you happen to be a Gothic fan, we appreciate you having played the previous games, and so a lot of your favorite characters are going to come back. And in fact, the lead character from all the previous games is back, but this time, at least at the beginning, he's the bad guy. So if you recognize it, then you're going to have some closure. But if you're brand new to it, then it's okay too, because it's a brand new character, it's a brand new island, and it's kind of fresh.